So this is the intro to the Red Hot Chili Peppers Scar Tissue song, and it goes something like this. Basically what he's doing, he's playing F and goes to D minor, and these are parallel chords, so these go super well together. The only thing, he's using the C major chord as a passing chord, which we have here. So you could imagine this being played like this. And I find it really, it's a brilliant thing that he basically cut out the two middle voices of the chord, the five and the octave, and he just left the major third up there on the second string. So and the bass. So on the 8th fret you have the 8th fret on the 8th string, you have 10th fret on the B string, and this is F, and then this is A, and this is a major third interval, but only an octave apart. And then you try to figure out the rhythm, play around with it. I use the thumb of my right hand and the index finger, as you can see. And then what I do is, like, I chose this specific position way up on the neck, so I can, this is like, I treat this as sort of a train, and then I just slide on the tracks. I consider the strings, I imagine the strings to be the tracks of the train tracks, and I just try not to drop off the train tracks. And you notice that when I play the F major chord, there's a vacant fret in between. And yes, this is the major chord, and when you have the minor chord, the D minor, then of course this finger is just two frets together. So if you were to move this shape anywhere else, so for instance here on the A note and the C, you would get a C minor. But going back to this, so another little lick is sliding up from C major to D minor, and it takes a little bit of practice. So try out like various fingerings, like first two fingers, the first and the third, the fourth. And when you figure that out, so this is 3 on the A string, 5 on the B string, and then 5 on the A string and 6 on the B string. And when you figure that out, then you got to figure something else out. There's also this F chord. Doesn't have to be the horizontal movement, doesn't have to be, you don't have to jump around as much. So what you can do, and what I've seen in the live videos, is that he plays it here. So it's the same F note only on the D string, and then the same A note only on the E string, and it sounds a little bit brighter. And what's interesting is that it's the same movement, so it's a major third octave apart, and then you just switch strings, you just jump up to the strings above, to the A and the B string, and you get the C chord. Yes, you can play around with it. And then C is here, and then D minor stays the same, although we could play it here. We could play the open D string and then just the first fret here. So that would be another solution. But then you lose the ability to slide up. you know, if you catch my drift. Also, there are certain moments when he plays something, you know, he plays certain licks over the F chord and the D minor chord. So that kind of got me thinking, and if you want to get this high on the E string is 13, 12, 10, and then 13, 10 on the B string, you got to figure out that the D note has now moved here, because this is D minor, right? So we go from F stays the same. Just don't keep your fingers like this, folks. It's just for demonstration purposes. And now our C has moved here. 8th fret of the E string and the 9th fret of the G string. Then you get this. But of course you're not gonna play it like this. You gotta economize. So you might use 1 and 3 on the left hand. I'm talking about the fingers. Or 1 and 3 and then 1 and 2. So this leaves us these two fingers to fuck around with the notes on the top two strings. Or just play a bar chord like this, but only play the E and the G string. So whatever you find easiest is fine by me. And then of course, I think at some point when the singing starts, it's just like, well, the birds are share this lonely view. Birds. So you can do it like this, and I think it's good. Yeah, I don't think I've finished what I was trying to say before is that by losing, like by omitting these, the 5 and the 1, the octave, the middle voices, let's call them that, you know, you leave a lot of room to, when you go into pre-chorus or chorus or you know, further on into the song, you know, you get much more fullness, I guess, in the arrangement, because, you know, if you want to skip, you know, adding another guitar and layering more stuff on top, because eventually that will lead to difficulties when you play it live. It'll sound hollow. So I think this minimalistic approach to try and say the most with the least, so like, you know, the principle of less is more, I think it works perfectly, and it was a good teacher to me, you know, over time. So yeah, of course, again, you can play it, but then, you know, if you use this at the very beginning of the song, then when you get to the chorus, all you can do is bang the guitar, you know, strum the guitar harder or whatever, but it's not much of a contrast. So later on, when they say, when it goes like whatever he's singing it, so you can play again. You can choose to play the small bar chord here and just play F like this, or maybe make the C note the root note, not the root note, Jesus Christ, the lowest note, bass note, or play the full chord, and then maybe go here and bar the A note on the E string. Another thing that's a logical evolution when you not evolution. God, my brain. Okay, another logical thing that comes up is you can play the F chord in various places. So you can play it as a C chord here. So when you get to the part of playing the chorus, you know, you can play it. The birds that share this lonely view, the birds that share this lonely. So I moved the pinky to the C note, just accentuated the C note as a passing note. It's all near and close. So we have F here, D minor here, and C here. So from this chord I just play the D, G, and B strings. So I get, you know, I end up with a little really cool. So all you basically do is like you go, if I play the G, D, and B strings, I go from playing the F chord is I don't have to play the whole, you know, under the bridge chord shape. I can just play 7, 5, 6, and then 5, 5, 5, and then just 7, 7, 6. This is my F chord, this is my C chord, and this is my D minor chord. So listening to these triads, because these are three note chords, can be very, very inspiring and interesting, because you all of a sudden you have this lead note, and you notice that the difference between D minor, maybe this is a better view, the difference between D minor is just dropping the D to a C, and you get F major, and then you have C and D. So the same thing could be tried here. You know, I could play C chord and then switch to the top three strings and just play. This is F. Or if you add a D here, and so it's 12, 10, 10, like this. So these chords are well connected. Okay, here. So F could be played on the first three strings, 1, 1, 2, and then C chord is just 0 G, 1 B, 0 E string, and then just D minor. So. And again, like in the previous basics videos, you can always see if there are some notes that you can add. So okay, so I think that covers it all, folks. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, support, and thanks.